Welcome to Dinner at the Round Table podcast with DJ John Tovar, Nelly Nell, Chris Ryder, your source to knowledge. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Dinner at the Round Table.
GG, I'm John Tovar, Nelly Nell, Chris Ryder. We are Dinner at the Round Table podcast, your source to knowledge. Tonight's a special segment. Well, no, it's a special series entitled The Power of You. Especially, I want to talk about this because I've been more in tune to myself, more in tune to my inner being, more in tune to my inner nature, assessing life, getting a better understanding of life, getting a better understanding of myself, knowing myself. So I definitely want to talk about the power of you. And I want to start with the power of imagination. So let's start like this. Just take a look at the things around you right now. Wherever you are right now. If you're in the living room, take a look at the table, the chair, the sofa, the television, the radio. Just know that everything that you see today that was built by man came from an imagination. We have this unique power that we don't even understand it. We don't even tap into it the way we should. That we have the power to imagine that no other species can do. And that's to imagine. That we're able to put mental images in our mind and foresee our future. But unfortunately, we have been educated. We've been educated out of this power of imagination. Because think about this. As kids, we will imagine everything that's possible. We had no limits when we was imagining. But because indoctrination, we take this unique power for granted. We don't even know how powerful we are. Only the ones that understand the power of imagination knows this. And sadly, the ones who really knows this are the ones who are in control of this. This is why when I talk about the American dream, I'm really talking about the people who knows that the majority of the people are very limited in their imagination. Because of what has been, superimposed on them. The state of living in limitations. They don't know that the power of imagination is one of the most dynamic faculties that you possess as a being. So it's not until we break out of this, we will never live to our fullest potential. And I'm just so amazed that we could picture ourselves having or doing the things that we want to do. And successfully doing it in our mind. That we could visualize anything that would or could happen to us and live it as it's happening to us right now. And it's by penetrating those thoughts and those images to our subconscious mind. 95% of our mind is subconscious. The other 5% we use it consciously. We have two separate minds that are interdependent to each other. Our imagination activates the creative powers to our subconscious mind. We are truly governed by our subconscious mind. Now, going back to imagination, it's the creative dreaming of things that you want to put into existence. Using your imagination consciously and having that will to be what you want to be, do what you want to do, and to have what you want to have. You see, imagination is the eye of the mind. But we must, be aware of the power of the eye of the mind, because what you see is what you get. So it's very important that, we see it in a positive light. So we need to recondition our mind by practicing the power of imagination. When we understand that all of us simultaneously live in two worlds, the inner world and the outer world, then we can apply this unique power that we possess to separate our consciousness from the outer world, because everything begins within you. You are the creator of your destiny. We've been taught to interpret our reality through our five senses, which is see, hear, touch, taste, and smell. But we have more than five senses. We have a sixth sense. We can see things that are not physically there in front of us, but we can envision it. And that's the power of imagination. 99% of the things that exist is in the sixth sense. The other 1% is in the five senses. And when you're imagining, it's important to point out this. It's not all about seeing it, but it's all about also feeling it. Vibrate with that feeling that you already have it, that you're already doing it. Plant those seeds of feeling it. And also hear the sounds of those images. Because that's part of our sixth sense. Insert that thought in your inner world that you want to envision in the outer world. Whatever you want to happen in the outer world, you must make those mental images as it's happening to you now. Any thought that's repeated, that is nourished, is going to produce. Every time you create a mental image in your mind, it becomes more powerful, more real. But we must do it repeatedly. It's the power of persistence that's going to make it into reality. It begins with a thought, then an action, Then lastly, persistence. And once you do that, you'll be able to manifest anything. Train your mind to be open to new ideas. Break out of that indoctrination. Don't stay boxed in. Allow your creativity, your imagination to open up. Let your imagination roam freely. Don't try to make too much sense out of it, because sometimes we tend to overthink. We cannot allow our imagination to confuse us by overthinking. Imagination should be practiced with comfort, with ease, with joy, and most importantly, with love. Decide what you want to do, then relax. Spend 5 minutes unwinding yourself. Get yourself in a comfortable space and spend at least 5 minutes visualizing the reality that you want. You see, if you can create a physical image in your mind, that means you can create a replica of that image in the outer world. We're born into this world learning to create. We are divine creatures, but we don't even know that. Think about how we came from living in caves to building cities. Just take a look at the infrastructure. From climbing stairs to elevators. From riding horses to get to point A to point B, to now flying planes. This all came from an imagination. We must use this powerful tool that can enable us to manifest anything that we want. But we have to trust the process. So I want to end it off with a final thought, as we always do here, at the Roundtable Podcast, your source to knowledge. Whatever you can imagine is real. Anything that you can conceive of exists. Our imagination has no limits. It doesn't even know what that is. In the words of Neville Goddard, who I definitely truly recommend for you guys to really research him. I read plenty of books of his writings, who's mentored by Abdullah, which is an African man, who I definitely recommend for you guys to also research. He said this, and I quote, "All that you behold, though it appears without, it is within your own wonderful human imagination, of which this world of morality is but a shadow. Your whole vast world, you are within me, I am within you. The whole vast world is within your own wonderful human imagination." End quote. So, everything in life is an investment, and it begins with your thought. And by harnessing this unique power that we possess, we can change and improve our lives in remarkable ways. Believe all things are possible to your imagination. Your subconscious mind doesn't know what's real and what's not real. Any mental image that's implemented into your inner world can be externalized into the outer world. And I always said this: if you believe in God, you believe in yourself, because God is within you. I am John Tavar, signing out. Peace.